Hey guys, it's General Heat here. How's everyone doing today? So, for today's video, got another special for you guys, and that is another monitor review. And for this monitor I'll be taking a look at for today's video, well, this is actually my first ultra-wide monitor ever. Now, you may be thinking, if you see my previous reviews, I've done ultra-wides before, right? Well, those were actually super ultra-wide monitors with a 32:9 aspect ratio, and they were huge. Like, the box for those, they were like as tall as me. But this is a 21:9 aspect ratio, and I've actually never used one like this before. I've always just used the super ultra wides, never the more common 21:9 size ultra wides. And as you can see, the box is a lot more reasonably sized for this one. So what I have here, and the folks at INNOCN were kind enough to send this to me to check out and review. They sent me the 34E9R monitor, and that is a 34-inch ultra wide OLED monitor. In fact, the OLED part is like really cool because OLED's like pretty much the best kind of display type you can get these days. So I'm really psyched to try this out because that's already like the highlight of this to me. But like I said, it's 34-inch, 1440p ultra wide resolution, 21:9 aspect ratio, with a 175 hertz refresh rate, which is really good for gaming as well, which is what we'll be testing this monitor with. All right, so we have the monitor set up here, and this thing is quite a beauty, really. It's the build quality is really nice, and the display image, like just looking at my desktop, it's already like really beautiful. I can't wait to get into games to try this out. Like I expect it's gonna look really good with the OLED, and of course the 1440p, everything looks really nice and sharp as well. If you're worried about 4K versus 1440p, I've talked about it in the past. It's not a big deal. 1440p still looks really great for both like games and non-gaming stuff. But aside from that, this monitor has some really cool features. Aside from being ultra wide and curved, it also has speakers built into it, 2.1 channel speakers. And I like having speakers in monitors. Like, it's not the most common thing, really, and it may not even be the most important thing to a lot of people, but I like it because sometimes if I'm watching a movie or if I have friends over and we want to watch something on the screen, and I don't have speakers in my PC, the speakers on the monitor is nice and convenient. But I'm sure a lot of people just use headphones, but it's nice to have that option. And these so far, I tested the sound a little bit in the Windows. The speakers sound great. They're loud enough, and the sound quality, it's decent enough. This monitor also has a very interesting feature on the base here. I don't have my phone with me because it's over there, like you're looking through my phone right now, but this has a wireless charging thing here. Like, it has a little lightning symbol here, which I assume just place your phone on there and it starts charging your phone. That is a really interesting feature. I've never seen anything like that in monitors. Like, I've seen some like weird things in monitors before. I've seen like Ethernet ports in monitors. I've seen like weird USB ports, and this monitor has one of those weird USB ports in the back as well. But I've never seen wireless charging built into the stand, and I think that's a great feature because like while you're gaming or something, most people just put their phones on their desk or something. So why not put it on here to let it charge if your phone supports wireless charging, of course. But one thing that's interesting and that I was actually interested in from 32:9 monitors is it has a picture by picture mode, which basically splits the display in half. So you can display two things side by side. So what you can do with this, you can have like your PC in one display and maybe like a game console in the other display. Or if you plug this monitor into your PC twice, I have a display port and an HDMI cable plugged into here, into my test bench PC here, twice. It acts as a dual monitor, just like those 32:9 dual monitors, or like the dual displays. But because this is 21:9, you can't have two widescreen displays. So you kind of end up with like two vertically stretched displays. Or you can probably adjust it so it's like letterboxed and you have like black bars along the bottom. it's not gonna look great that way, but you know, it still kind of works for this feature. And if you play around with it, I'm sure you can get like a better looking image. But that is a limitation of 21:9 ultra wide displays versus 32:9 ultra wide displays. So just keep that in mind if that's something that you're, looking forward to, or something that you need.
Okay, so let's get into the games because that is probably what matters the most when it comes to monitors like this. So let's start off with none other than Halo 2 Anniversary on MCC. Halo 2 Anniversary is honestly like still one of the most beautiful looking games out there, and on an OLED monitor, especially like an ultra wide, this game just shines. Look at that, like the colors are just so vibrant. Everything is so beautiful, and plus the image is like really crisp and sharp. But like just more than that, like the colors just really blow me away, and I just feel like the camera doesn't really do this justice. You really have to see it for yourself, but you can kind of already see it. Like it just everything looks so good on an OLED display. It makes the colors like really pop, really vibrant, and being an ultra wide too, you just see so much more. It's just perfect for this. And even in an older Halo game like Halo 3, it basically just gets like a free upgrade just by being on an OLED monitor and an ultra wide as well. It looks so much better. But this game, like Halo 3, actually does run at on my test PC here. It does actually run at a full refresh rate and frame rate of 175 hertz, so 175 FPS, and the motion is just so much smoother on at this like level. It's so much better than playing at like 60 FPS on a TV screen. So it's a huge improvement to even an older game like Halo 3. And any other game that can handle this, it's definitely perfect for it. Now, here's where the ultra wide aspect comes in and like really like benefits games like this. And that is like driving games or flight simulator games or similar things. I mean shooter games like it works great too, and playing an ultra wide on those are great. But for driving games, driving an ultra wide, it's actually like pretty realistic, especially if you have like a racing wheel setup. Now, I personally would actually prefer like 32:9, like go even wider with first person driving games or flying. But 21:9 is great, and it still looks and feels really great in that case. As for more cinematic games, let's check out Life is Strange Double Exposure, which just came out, and it's actually a very beautiful looking game too. So not every game out there, and including this one, fully supports ultra wide perfectly, and that's true of like 21:9 or 32:9 ultra wide. A lot of games will just like letterbox on the sides, and some games like just letterbox on the sides completely, like they don't support ultra wide at all. But some games like Life is Strange and even like some Halo games, they'll letterbox on the sides, and when you're in gameplay, it's normal and fine. But aside from that, Life is Strange Double Exposure, beautiful on this display. Like the colors and brightness and everything, just so good.
All right, so to wrap this video up, this is a very incredible monitor. I mean, the OLED display itself is pretty much like what makes this such an amazing display. Like, OLED is truly unmatched, and that honestly that does go for like any OLED monitor. But like OLED compared to other display types, it's just so good. The colors, the sharpness, everything about it just looks like really beautiful. And like no matter the game I try, even like a cinematic game like Life is Strange, or even like a really old game with like more dated graphics like Halo 2 Classic, they all still look really nice on an OLED display. Like it just makes every game like shine to its full potential. So if you're looking for a gaming monitor and you were curious about exploring like ultra wide, uh, or you wanted like the maximum quality with OLED without breaking the bank, you should definitely check out this monitor. It's a very impressive display. So yeah, I mean I'll drop the link in the description below. So yeah, that about wraps up for this video. Thank you again for dropping by and checking this monitor out with me. Hope you agree that it was a very interesting monitor as well. But yeah, so that's it for this video. I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.